And I am going to welcome to the stage my colleague Rumbi Chakamba, who's going to continue this conversation in this line, talking about how African philanthropy is changing.
Thank you so much, Adva. This conversation actually really sets us up for the next discussion that we're going to have. Please help me in welcoming our next speaker on stage, Tsitsi Masiyiwa, who is the co-founder and co-chair of Higherlife Foundation, as well as the board chair of the End Fund. Thank you so much, Tsitsi. I had to refer to my notes because you do so many different things and you've got so many different titles. But
I have many children. I have 6.
A mom to 6 as well. But to start off this conversation, I want to take it to the End Fund. You took over as board chair for the End Fund last year, but this was after working with them for several years. Can you tell us a little bit about the End Fund and what you guys do?
So the End Fund, in a nutshell, is a philanthropic fund. We claim to be the leaders, okay, of philanthropists who put money together, focusing on eliminating 5 neglected tropical diseases. There's so many. These diseases are diseases that we are forgotten about, that are, for those of you who read the Bible, they are in the Bible. And we still find them in our communities. So our goal, together with the communities in which we work and serve, and the philanthropists, have partners we work with, which are your governments, which are your, again, local leaders, communities, etc., to be able to eliminate these diseases. And I have to say thank you so much to Diana, the interim CEO of the End Fund, who created this opportunity for me to be in this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. I should thank you too, because I've been dying to speak to Tsitsi as well. So this is fun for me too. You mentioned the End Fund and your focus on NTDs. So one thing people always say about NTDs is that they're forgotten because they affect the poorest. And I think 40% of people who are affected by NTDs are in Africa. So what role have you seen African leaders, both in philanthropy and in government, playing in the End Fund's mission?
First of all, Africans care, because each one of us has a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, a family that we are supporting in the village somewhere, who are either susceptible to the disease, exposed to, or suffer from the disease. So it's something that we carry, something that we are aware of, that we know. And then as from a philanthropic side, we African philanthropists are very much engaged. Do you know who the biggest African philanthropists are? It's the diaspora.
Oh,
thank you. If you are from the diaspora, put up your hand. Thank you. We love and we appreciate you. Sending $5 home, $10 home, $50 home, $100 home. There are no diasporans in the room, okay, but makes a world of difference.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think we had a report out on Devex, which looked at remittances and how they are surpassing other forms of like giving. And so that's true. But I was going to name all these names and include all these billionaires in there. But that is true, actually. The diaspora plays such a big role. And you mentioned one thing about Africans. You said Africans care and they're engaged because they know someone who's affected by the issue. Is that what we need in order? Because I think the last conversation focused a lot on African solutions to African problems. Is that what we need in order to like make a change happen? People who are engaged and people who understand the issues?
I think first of all, what's needed is humility. Philanthropy is love for humanity, and it's got to be a genuine love for humanity. And it takes humility to respect that everybody matters in the ecosystem. The communities, those who are affected matter. Those who look after those who are susceptible or who suffer from the diseases matter. The players in country, it doesn't matter how corrupt the government is, how much we disagree. You know, when you have a level, I believe, if you have a level of wealth or income you have achieved and a certain lifestyle, you can afford not to speak to somebody who has political differences with you. When you're African, even if I disagree with my government, I will find a common platform to work, because it's not about my politics, it's about our communities. That what can we do? There's a sense of urgency in us having that kind of mindset and having a mindset that brings solutions that the communities that really, really suffer need with urgency.
And the N Fund also works with international donors. I know you've received funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. You've also received funding from Mackenzie Scott, who sort of believes in this trust-based philanthropy. In what ways should international philanthropy be changing in order to meet African needs?
Okay. It has to change through trust. Number one, trust. Let's unpack what trust means. You can't give money and then you are also serving on the boards and want to have a say as board members. Already there's an inequality there. That's number one. Number two, you've got to understand that the ways to remit money, to get the money to the people, we've got to be creative. Technology provides many platforms. But if you have a group of people sitting in a city somewhere who are the ones who you entrust with the money, and the bank that looks like you and sounds like you, and then plus all the costs that are required to get the money to where it gets, guess what? A very small portion will get there. So it's the humility. If we are called philanthropists, otherwise we must change our names to something that is more reflective of our values and the way we do our giving. If we are truly love for humanity, it is what really works. Dismantle systems that don't work. If there are board members who are on the board who are there because they want to direct how their money is given, they need to remind themselves they're philanthropists. They can't serve on the board. Either you give the money and be professional, follow the rules, do philanthropy in an efficient manner, do it in a dignified manner, and do it with a sense of urgency. It works in many businesses. When it comes to making money, somehow the rules kind of like change. But when it comes to philanthropy, I think philanthropists, we tend to want to be honored, respected in ways that I think are disproportionate to our impact. So changing the mindset, changing the systems, stopping the politics, and demanding all manner of rights because you have given money. It has to stop, irrespective of how big the donor, philanthropist, or whatever they are. I think we are in the game of humility. That's what philanthropy is.
Definitely, that deserves a round of applause. And then, final question. When we talk about setting the agenda, I think right now the focus is really on community-led solutions. The people who are affected by these, maybe if it's NTDs, affected by these diseases or affected by anything, should be the ones leading the way and sort of curating the solutions that come to them. How do we ensure that we incorporate these community voices in these solutions that we're coming up with?
Okay, first of all, the term community-led solutions appears on every brochure, by the way. So everybody has their own definition of what community-led solutions are. One of my favorite words is integrity. Have integrity when you write it. If it's community-led, for sure, make sure your people have actually gone. My kind of philanthropy, this is what I do. And this is what we do at Higherlife. This is what we do at Delta Philanthropies. You go where the community is. You eat the food that they are eating. You spend a few nights there where they sleep. listen to their stories and their lived experiences. That is what co-creation means to me. But anything that is out of that it's an aspiration.
I think you've really challenged a lot of people, and I hope this message goes up the chain. I was going to say down the chain, but I think it's up the chain to philanthropists so that they have a better understanding of what exactly it is to be community led. Thank you so much, Tsitsi, for speaking to me.
Thank you, everyone.